Okay, guys, this being the second to last reaction video for this month, yes, and it's another CinemaSins video, and this time from TV Sins. Yes, another TV Sins video to react to, and yep, you read the title of what this TV Sins video it is that I'm reacting to, and of course, you know, it has to be something Christmassy, and that being from 1966, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original and the best adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I know, I'm fine with it, you know, because it's everybody's opinion, because everybody seems to cite on the live-action version with Jim Carrey the most. But, you know, still, like, the one from 1966, that is the original, and that's what started it all, and that is considered the best adaptation. I'm just saying, you know. And thankfully, it was the first version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas that I saw, and until, you know, I saw the live-action version and the computer-animated one from Illuminations. Yeah, Illumination. I don't think there's an S at the end, no. And, you know, it's pretty fitting that we now have 3 adaptations / versions of the story of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. One that's hand-drawn, the other being live-action, and the other one being computer-animated. So, and, you know, that makes total sense, and it fits. Each of them, just in how they were done, and a bit of different storytelling, you know, and again, because one that's 2D, live-action, and 3D. It's very fitting. And obviously, I have to react to this first, because again, this is the very first adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And yeah, interested to see what CinemaSins / TV Sins has to say on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Alright, so without further ado, we shall begin. Okay, again, everything wrong with How the Grinch Stole Christmas. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Previously on TV Sin.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's try that once more, just to be sure. Okay, and the volume's good. Okay, my bad. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Previously on TV Sins.
1/2 is sold into slavery, or 1/3 dies.
Deal or no deal?
They previously did the Doctor Who Christmas Invasion. Yeah, TV Sins does that previously.
You get a producer credit, and all of a sudden the good doctor wants to go by Ted Geisel again. But a few seconds later, he's back Seussing it up. Pick a name, Ted. HR credits. Didn't we just see this exact same title just 40 seconds ago? Do you think we forgot what we were watching that quickly? Oh, sure, the Who's love Christmas and all, but who will speak for the trees? Trim the tree? Bingo balls? Hoo-foo fluff? Are we sure Dr. Seuss didn't have his doctorate in manscaping? If that wreath was a traditional wreath with the hole in the middle, where did the demonic star-topper Jack-in-the-Box come from? Was it hell? Because I think it was hell. Who's do what to who now?
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas.
Not what you think.
Karloff-oration.
The Grinch.
Karloff-oration.
Please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
Except Ron Howard. He seemed pretty sure it was because he was bullied in school. So, Cannon Schmannon, I guess.
But the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
I heard this is the same issue with asshole YouTube television, movie, and music centers.
All those Who girls and boys.
Where did all these kids come from? Is this the Whoville orphanage? I mean, sure, it could be a giant Who family, except they all look exactly the same age. Do Whovians have kids in litters? Also, where are the adults? There are kids in here shooting arrows, riding trains, playing trumpets atop giant stilts, and riding roller skates while holding ornate badminton rackets. Whose are these?
Noise.
Does it matter?
Noise.
How would the Grinch be able to hear a thing coming from Whoville? I get that sound travels up, but with the amount of wind and the fact that he lives in a cave 10,000 feet up, this would seem to be a non-issue.
They'll blow their flu-fluers and bang their taunting.
And later he'll mention Imagine them beating their trum-tookers and slamming their slew-slonkers. Honestly, sometimes I think Susie and Rhyme is just a play-by-play of old-timey porn. Can we talk for just a second about the airflow physics and the switches necessary for a brass instrument with this many bells? Every bell would need a separate switch to redirect the sound. Not only that, you could only play one at a time anyway. It's almost like Dr. Seuss didn't even care about real-world physics and consequences. And this electro-who cardio schlux has the exact opposite issue. What if four who's need to blow into it when it only has one bell? Also, how are any of them even supposed to see the one who is conducting? I mean, the one who is conducting. I mean, the one whom is conducting. Whatever. One of them is facing completely backwards is all I'm saying.
That's true. And also, the kind of technology, I guess, the Who's have, and the instruments.
So, you're gonna feast? Wasn't sure I got that. These Russian nesting chefs are delivering this treat by focusing on presentation and style more than practicality and affordability. So it makes complete sense that it appears to be some kind of Apple product.
Oh, we already come to this.
This song is so perfect, even this movie Grinch has to remove a few cents. But what is he even sewing?
Thank you.
Make it any more of a sleeve than it already is.
All I need is a
Throw a
I
Ravenscroft.
think it would have been less weird if there'd just been a reindeer farm nearby, as opposed to him having antlers mounted on his wall for no reason.
If I can't find a reindeer,
I'll make one instead.
You know whose movie I want to see? Max. How the hell did he wind up with this green goblin? He couldn't have been raised by him, or he would have just ended up some sort of Christmas Cujo. Did Grinchy go dog shopping? And yes, I'm aware.
It's an interesting story how
this question, but I'm too lazy to even
to
read
wonder.
picture books, so I'm just going to assume it's all bull.
I forget if the Grinch established this. You know,
This works.
the CG one.
Are who's nocturnal? Because as bright as this snow is, it's definitely day right now. I get that it's a cartoon and that he's a real son of a Grinch, but if you're asking me how much animal cruelty played for laughs in a kid flick I can take before I get uncomfortable, I'm just saying 2 full minutes might be close.
When he came to the first little house on the square.
Considering this is a Seuss world and right angles don't exist, I'm pretty sure that no one even knows what a square is. It's probably called the town Fleffersnoodler. Since Max is on the ground, who the hell is he making eyes at here? I can overlook a lot of sadness in cartoons, like this anti-gravity ornament somehow climbing a tree to take out the other ornaments, but these ornaments rolling into a hole in the floorboard and
Just
reappearing
in the
falling
zone,
through the rain gutters
probably.
has boggled my mind beyond what I can handle. I think Grinch is doing a service for these kids here. Think of the sticky hands. Now they will be covered in ants by morning if he doesn't take these candy canes from them. Also, how did we not all grow up with constant nightmares on Christmas Eve? Look at that face! That green monster is going to eat those children, I swear it! It's becoming more and more clear the animators in this special also took all the Who hash they could find. Also, why does all the food have Who in front of it on the labels? It's not like we go to the store and pick up human jello.
Why are you taking our Christmas
Wow.
I think the real question is how the were you speaking so fluently if you're barely 2? What the are they putting in the Who hash?
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Really?
So did he leave it or not? And if it was too small for the mouse, why did the mouse seem interested in it before it was snatched away? Christmas Special can't even stay true to its own direct narration. Is this really the quickest way to do this? Of the Grinch's many evils, I'm thinking lack of efficiency might be top of the list.
He rode with his load to the tip-top dump.
We used to do that in college. We called it the double-decker. Okay, fine. Contentment in all situations. Love is more important than material possessions. Blah, blah, blah. But this entire
It
town
is.
just got violated in a
It really
horrendous way,
is.
and every single one of these Stepford Who's wakes up smiling and singing. Can we at least let them work through it a bit? Also, if we needed any more proof that the Who's are just a big cult, may I point you to the giant glowing deity in the middle of their circle?
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come
How
to
his
the store.
eye
Yeah,
color
but this
changes,
movie
you know, the
and
eyelids.
The countless other movies, clothing, and
pupils.
other merchandising this book has resulted in. I'm just saying there's a balance in the world is all.
The true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch
Went from like red, yellow to that. His eyes.
So that's what we've been doing wrong. My trainer has me doing silly things like squats and presses when I should be reading the nativity story while listening to the Christmas shoes to get my soul on.
He brought everything back, all the food for the feast.
But they still locked him up for 2 decades at least. And as for the dog, even with full repentance, an accessory to the crime, he got his own max sentence. For in Whoville you see, green, brown, tall or small, no creature exists above the rule of law. Also, does Cindy think Santa is having lunch with them, or has her belief system been completely broken, and she will be an untrusting basket case for the rest of her life? I lean toward the latter. I'm totally giving a sin back for this being only 26 minutes, and not starring Jim Carrey, or being a pointless overlong 2018 holiday cash grab.
37 sins.
You're amazing, dude.
Thanks. I like to play.
I didn't get that reference.
Did you chop down this tree?
Danny DeVito, the Lorax. Okay, that was The Exorcist, I should have known.
Our vision was to create a community based on compassion and sharing. Because that's how you get ads. So difficult. Man, he just grabbed on and saved 160 pounds from dropping down.
Christmas Day will always be just as long as we have we.
As we have we? Okay, that was the me music. Yeah. Boy, that really has, like, gone out there, the me music, like, kind of becoming a meme and also, like, becoming, like, pretty good music to use on TikTok. So, just saying. So I got a couple of references, and with the audio outtakes, you know, after credits, you know, just a couple. But yeah, overall, everything wrong with How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not bad, not bad. And of course, funny, as these cinema sins / TV sins videos are. You know, they're for laughs and for our entertainment. Okay, so more on this in the jump cut. Hey guys, so that was my reaction to the TV sins video of everything wrong with How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966. Yeah, again, not bad, and like I said, you know, funny, and that is the purpose of the cinema / TV sins videos. Yeah. What they had to say on the original / first adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, yeah, I mean, some things that they pointed out, but stuff that, you know, even, you know, for someone like like myself could point out and correct, I guess you could say. That's what I've done before. And when reacting to cinema sins, and I sometimes do that. I mean, like, because, okay, with the instruments and what the narrator said and pointed out, like, of how they're playing the instruments and stuff like that, like, those styled horns and all that, like, well, I mean, it's the world of Who's and the world of Dr. Seuss. What more does there have to be said, you know? Like, it's just how the Who's work and in their world and the kind of technology and stuff they have and how they play instruments, the type and style of instruments that these Who's have, and, you know, for that matter, the world of Dr. Seuss. And, you know, the late legendary Dr. Seuss had an interesting style to whatever it is that he did in his books, and anything that would be turned into something on TV, a movie, yeah, and it's a fact. And it was nice that, yeah, because it was nice that they removed a couple of sins, like, you know, for, like, say, the You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch song number, and I can understand it, but it was also pretty funny, you know, because removing a couple of sins, because, like, this having nothing to do with, like, say, Jim Carrey. I almost say Jim Grinch? God, sorry. Jim Carrey and the 2018 Grinch movie. I can understand it, you know. And again, this being the first adaptation and the best. Just saying. And it was also pretty funny because Karloff narration, however he said it, and you know, I'll also point this out. Like, it's pretty impressive because for this being on TV, the animation to this is fantastic, and like in comparison to a animated feature film that Chuck Jones worked on called Gay Puree, that musical, hand-drawn animated film with talking / singing cats in Paris, France, not to be confused with the Aristocats, because Gay Paris came out in 1963, and when Walt Disney was still alive. And when you look at the animation for Gay Paris, compare that to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and the fact that How the Grinch Stole Christmas came out a couple of years after Gay Paris. Oh my gosh, like, the animation and quality to Gay Paris, not like movie-ish, like the quality to it, you know what I mean? Not fluent or anything like that. But in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, again, for that being on TV, the animation being fantastic and fluent, if I'm pronouncing that right, you know. And not to mention Gay Paris, because it has an interesting story, and in the making of it, especially since Chuck Jones, he was legally working on Gay Paris, and he got fired from Warner Brothers, because again, he was legally working on this. He basically blew his contract for what he was doing. I can't remember exactly what the reasoning was. Like, maybe I don't know, he did it on purpose or something, like he was pissed off with Warner Brothers. I don't know. I'll have to look into that again. But, you know, Chuck Jones, and in other work that he would do in animation, like, you know, he most famously, like, did a new batch of Tom and Jerry shorts in the 60s, when he moved from Warner Brothers to MGM, and, of course, doing How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And at some point, you know, he came back to doing more Looney Tunes. Yeah, and you know, and also he did another, like, feature film that it not only was animation, but live action as well. The Book of the Phantom Tollbooth, if I'm saying that right? Yeah, that one. And, you know, Chuck Jones having an interesting look and style to whatever it is that he does. And, you know, you can sometimes see it in some Looney Tunes shorts, you know, and how he has designed some of the characters that he has drawn and animated, and the same goes for the Looney Tunes characters. Yeah. So everything that cinema/TV sends, you know, what they had to say on How the Grinch Stole Christmas, yeah, and, you know, because some stuff, like, I'm thinking of, like, the Grinch, like, him just like smiling and grinning over, you know, seeing the kids sleeping in bed. Like, no, he was not gonna eat them, of course, you know. And them mentioning Cindy Lou Who, and well, I'd figure, and because the narrator, you know, asked and wondered, like, if Cindy still thinks that it's Santa Claus, and, you know, but it's really the Grinch. Well, I would assume that she and everybody else in Whoville know that it's not Santa Claus, it's the Grinch. I think it's obvious. So, yeah. And no, because I disagree, like, obviously, the Whovilles would not throw the Grinch in jail. I mean, we can clearly see that at the end of this, so I just thought I'd throw that out. And, you know, again, like, it is for laughs, you know, that's what these videos from cinema/TV sins are for. Laughs and for our entertainment. So, yeah, that's the purpose. So, again, overall, what cinema/TV sins said on the original/first adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966, yeah, understandable, and what they had to say. And it's, you know, very happy to see that, you know, they removed a good chunk of sins, because, again, there's something about the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas that's just so memorable, and for it being one of the top best, like, Christmas specials on TV, no doubt about it. And what about you guys? What did you think of the video itself? What TV sins had to say on the original/first adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas? What did you think of my reaction? Leave comments and give this reaction video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to TV Sins, Everything Wrong with How the Grinch Stole Christmas. More reaction videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/reaction. And of course, there's one more reaction left later tonight, and it's gonna be something else. CinemaSins and Christmassy. Stay tuned for that. Take care, peace out, and happy holidays/Merry Christmas to you all.